looks like I'm going to have to fix my little commentator thing again, since apparently we're playing musical chairs. And apparently I can't type. Okay, so we talked to the teams, and we actually got them to mic up for the dice roll and for the pairing process. So we're going to go over to them right now. Except for maybe they already rolled off.
We are going with the plan. This is the plan.
Not yours,
yeah? No, this is. We're gonna put up Ryan Chiriboga first.
Oh, okay, right.
Right. Okay. Goreshade and Scar. Okay. Wonderful.
So they can't hear each other. We can wait both captains.
It's all right. Okay, that could be a problem. No nudity allowed on Twitch.
Orkisz I Heru.
What?
Moim zdaniem.
I know. That's why I'm saying no nudity is allowed on
Nie,
Twitch.
bo wtedy jeśli wybiorą Heru, no to Orkiszowi dodają jakiś chujowy matchup.
Except for the Slovakians. Or the Polish. Sorry, the Polish seem to be talking
Chyba musi iść Heru i Rift w takim razie.
That's unfortunate. However, we'll still be able to hit Will Pagani.
Nie, no w sensie, że wiesz, jak mamy czerwone, możemy uniknąć, no to unikajmy, nie?
Danny 2 was you and you. So we decided.
You're good too.
So is you two then?
Ryan is ready to win this game. I want to see what they give us back before we go too far into any theory crafting here. They have. It is clackulating.
It's
They did this last year.
I believe what the Polish are currently saying is we have no answer
You don't have
for
to go on
JVM.
clock. You can pause.
He's far too strong.
You don't have to pee in a bottle.
What else could it possibly be?
Yeah, what else would
Look,
they
it's
be
not the
saying?
worst thing that's come out of my microphone.
Ryan will pee his pants, just so you guys heard.
To win a game?
America.
Anthony
I'm
Davis.
dedicated.
This is one is for us. Natomiast jeśli Hordes dostanie te dwa mecze, to wtedy po prostu olewamy Orkisza, Orkisz wyciągnie na scenariusz.
Oh, Jay!
Wolałbym tak nie robić. Że...
We have Ryan Chiriboga on the table right now, is that correct?
I believe so, which has been a common strategy for Team Stars throughout the event to put up Chiriboga first, because he has
Only two of us have hair, Ryan.
very difficult to deal with. They have a lot of troops and there's a lot of these teams that don't have good answers for them, so they're forced to put up two lists that they don't necessarily like.
Yeah, apparently this was not a expected drop because they are going on that app for quite a while.
Yes. No.
We stumped them.
Wtedy?
We stumped them?
Yeah,
No, tak.
apparently.
Co, wygląda gorzej niż te poprzednie?
Yeah, I mean, we got a good shot at winning it. I mean, they're good players, but we're good players too.
Go Karczewem? Pociśniesz go Karczewem.
I do, yeah. I think we're also playing very different lists from last year. They're less prone to assassinations, which they were able to pull out last year.
Okay, cool. And kind of gone into it with like a new leaf, or have you tried to learn from last year?
We actually have a very different strategy from I think every other team here, which was last year winning the die roll and choosing to go second was super powerful because you got to pick the pairings. This year you get to pick the tables if you go first. So we built all of our lists anticipating to pick tables, and it worked. They won the die roll and they let us go first, which is what we want.
So you're taking lists that no matter what table you're on, good.
So it means we don't have to do as well in the list pairings because Minoth against Lilith 2 is rough. But if you can get a table with like a trench and a hill and a wall, you can play that match. So the table matches to us are more important.
I see. So you've really built the table match.
Correct. Well, so we built very generalist lists that do everything, and then when we do hit one of those problem matchups, we can then assign that person to the table that kind of tips it in their favor.
Orkisz Rift to była...
Definitely worried about Anthony's bald head.
Yeah. I think we're the only team choosing to go
He's
first.
a little bright, especially when he takes his
So
Well, they can't drop their prettiest players. They have to save that for Jake.
Right, they cannot. So they're going to have to find some way to deal with Brian White.
well, last year,
He's a
if you
big
went
issue. Oh, and he's
second,
gonna poke
you
me
got to
in
not
the
only
nose.
pick the pairings a little better, like it's
I've
not a
been
huge
touched
deal,
by
but you
Brian
also got to
White,
pick the last two
everyone.
tables, and we still
I'm
have
now going to
this year, when they
qualify
said
for
the first
Warmachine
team
weekend.
gets to pick all of the tables, we're like,
I don't know if you
done.
guys could
We're
hear
doing it.
Will
So
just a little
we've
bit
all
ago.
been
He
planning
was
that from the
talking
start.
Nie.
It's working out.
He was going over his strategy. Their
Albo
team
ciebie i
strategy
Riva,
this
albo...
year, which was based entirely around
Orkisha i
the
Riva.
die roll to go first, and the fact that this year the team that
Ja uważam, że...
last year the team that had to go first was at a significant disadvantage because the final two pairings they got to just choke.
There's a lot more Butcher
This
2
year,
Riva
it's the
i
same,
Heru.
but the team that goes first also gets to pick.
we actually didn't end up having to because we have like 3 players that are really good against it already. So it wasn't a big deal for us, but it did kind of surprise
Built their
us
lists
because it's one of the biggest skew lists out there.
being able to.
So it's certainly something you need to be able to plan for, and we just turned out that we were good against it.
During the, sorry, I hope you don't mind, this is kind of turning into an informal.
Sure. No, I don't mind. I don't know if they're getting it over there because I'm mic'd up for them.
Of course, when they need you.
Yeah.
I think they're just going through all of their various
For us,
permutations of how he's going to play.
Signar is actually really difficult for us, and it ended up that Keith was going to be one of our Signar drops, and when he couldn't make it,
Dobra.
we got forced into playing second Crix.
We
and that
finally
was
made a
rough.
decision.
I'll be back.
We give you Crix and Cater.
Okay, can I have lists?
Interesting. So we have a possible Crix on Crix or a Kador on Crix.
There you go.
Okay. As expected. How do you feel? I can't do this, so I'll take this. Take this.
Okay.
You got it.
I don't know what to answer with there.
Well, we have, you said Brian.
Yeah.
Plan?
For Body and Soul? He's locked into Body and Soul.
He's locked. Yeah, it's body and soul. So you guys look at it, make sure.
So after this, let's have like a 5-minute power of Body and Soul for whoever gets it. But
Two, which we just saw on the screen last round.
yeah, that's fine.
Okay.
2 matches.
What do you guys want?
If I'm going for scenario, I want this back table. Because that's crazy good
We
for
saw
me.
we've seen back-to-back Denagra, actually. We saw Denagra last round as well.
What's up?
Although they're not necessarily going to be playing on the future.
Yeah, they won't necessarily be on the stream, but it's interesting how much Denagra 2 there is in these last few rounds.
Yeah, do we want to walk down there? Yeah, I got it. I got it. Brian, I got it. Don't worry about it. You're good. What's up?
Whoever gets the lowest pair, probably.
Yeah. That one? What about this one? Yeah, this one seems great.
What, one of these two?
Yeah. Yeah.
It may not be.
Well, I mean, we can measure if it's in Killbox. So we wanted to save one of these two for the Lilith matchup. Because you get a, you want this one?
I'll do something else. I don't
I mean, what's best for you,
I
Ryan?
don't care.
Pick what's best for you. Not one of those two. That is the most important terrained tables are those two down there. I mean, you can have that one if you want.
This one might be okay. So
any one of those
put my caster up there.
Or here.
Yeah, but he's not going to shoot me. He's going to put. What I mean is, like, if he feeds and tries to commit, what's the power? So I get the wall up.
Doom Reavers? Sure. All right. If they can't get over the wall. On here? Okay.
I know the Polish are being a little quiet right now, but I guarantee you that they're saying, I'm not sure how we deal with the secondary moves
wanted a
of
rematch.
that Pagani guy.
And then we got a Crix.
What was the matchup drop?
We're doing me and you?
Brian White?
Well, no, do you guys want to talk about it?
These are the...
I mean, we can powwow, yeah.
So, here.
No, this is our list. This is their list. I know what that Crix list is.
Okay. What does everybody need to dodge? What's left?
Cater's out for me, so.
Okay, I want to know.
So you're good.
Yeah,
You didn't.
You can play against this?
I've never have.
Never have?
I mean,
I haven't played against the Fiend Force,
I mean, I don't
but
think
you
it
just get to
makes-
start with your upkeeps, which is big. It's less big for me, though, because I can like teleport stuff around,
that's my point, is I really can't. So I'd rather.
I'm really good.
and then you just have purification, right? You play hard.
I'm really good against
So
that.
that's what I'm saying.
You're really good against this?
The counter feed.
Okay. We want to put up Brian Jake.
You don't move up. So first turn, I can just put it on whatever model I pursue. Just keep on going. But he's not going to pick me because he's going to know. Yeah, but you have.
But he has purification.
So maybe those two and save me and you.
And then, do you get fucked by anything that's left?
No, not particularly. I mean, Lilith too.
May I see the rest of the lists?
We have to be careful with you in circle. That's it.
I mean, I can play it if I have to. I just don't like the game. Yeah. I don't like Baldur 2. He's an asshole.
So, do we want to put you up?
Because I'm good against this. I'm good against this. I'm good against this. I'm good against this.
Are you bad? Do you have any problems with
Jake's mad.
Jake wants this and wants this, right?
No. Oh, you want these?
But you're okay with Trios 3? You're good? He's locked in.
I can fight all three of these.
If you can fight all of them, then let's put us up because we both have one list remaining we don't want.
So one of you is going to be gone.
Correct.
Okay.
And then
so one of us take the list that we have, and then you guys will be
able to pick your next matchup.
Right. Correct. And then we don't let them pick our 2 matches, which might be both of us are bad ones.
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Circle and Protectorate.
Who's that?
Those are theirs.
So they have
These are your
Wolf
3
and
remaining,
Brian
right?
White.
And then here we go. Okay, I was like, wasn't it Crix? I don't know.
So circle and mana against Krix.
Yes.
Okay, so who do you think they're going to choose in that Krix matchup?
Yeah, I know, right?
He's locked into body and soul.
Algorithm, schmalgorithm.
He's locked into body and soul. Seems like he's probably going to want to see men off.
I think Harbinger is. I think he's going to pick Will.
You think so?
I think Harbinger will probably scare him.
Interesting. That would be a really interesting game.
No. Bierzemy, tak?
Yeah. Yeah, he's locked into Dini 2, and the Menokai is locked into Chaos.
Body and soul.
I think this is a good situation for the United States team. Sure. Both of the... Him being locked into body and soul makes this very...
Dobrze jest.
I mean, either way, you were getting dropped, and it was either me or Jake.
Mamo, pozdrawiam cię.
Jest nieźle.
No, tak? Okay. Who'll play you?
So they chose Will for the game.
Yep.
Okay.
So you go pick the table.
I think it's going to be Chromac.
I agree.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be Chromac.
No, I can't do that.
Tier 4 body and soul.
Yeah.
I can't read the first one either, though, so... a lot of Z's and J's in there.
Brian White is on the table, and Polish will be able to put 2 of their remaining...
I do want that table.
To face Brian.
And they have a...
But that's going to be... I kind of do. Well, I want the house.
Kador and Chris.
We can give this one to the Lilith player. Because it's got the cover on both sides.
So they still have Circle.
Yeah, but your cast... So yeah, so if you do that, if you put scenario pressure on them and then your caster's in cover, it makes it very hard to assassinate you. So I can put... Like, most people will be able to put scenario pressure while their caster remains in cover then.
Protectorate. And
Yeah.
Legion.
Yep, they have a circle. They have Legion.
I mean...
They have Protectorate.
I do if they're...
And the Krios player is locked into Krios 3.
The Protectorate player has played High Reclaimer all 5 rounds.
Okay, I'll take this one.
Yeah, I would rather...
I just want a big piece of terrain in the middle.
Yeah, you can take this. I'm okay. As long as it doesn't damage.
Okay. That one's good too, though. Hold on, I'm going to de-mic and go look at that other table.
And interesting. The Circle player is playing Baldur 1 and Baldur 2.
Hello.
Otherwise, I might expect them to drop the Circle player and the Legion player.
That's a really interesting pairing. I'm not sure that I would do that if I were a Circle player. It seems like there's a lot of things. I mean, I guess in this particular event, he can avoid a lot of the bad matchups that Baldur 1 and Baldur 2 have.
This is the longest
So maybe that's his plan, but it seems like there's a lot of bad particular matchups with Baldur 1 and Baldur 2.
I think it's just the fact that both lists...
So,
1 second.
to your Protectorate, we give you Legion and Circle.
Circle.
Interesting. Legion and Circle.
Snap pick.
As long as everybody else is cool with it.
You two are good with this?
Legion Circle, so he's got
Yeah.
Lilith 2
Circle.
and Thagrosh 2.
Okay.
And
Pick the
Baldur-
table.
And Baldur
Ryan?
2, the list we were talking
What
about.
do you want?
Wanted the Circle player.
Okej.
So we need that one available for Lilith.
Wybrali mnie.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind that one.
This one?
Yeah, right there.
Okay. Take it away.
And you get last two.
Have fun.
Mnie wybrali. Ja gram
And
tu.
so that would be Jake and Anthony.
No czyli co, proste. Tutaj gra z
They will get to pick the
Legionem,
final matchup
a Riv
between-
gra z
Between
Kryksem.
Krios 3
Tak?
or Legion.
I don't expect them to put Legion into Jake.
It is incredible how important
Usually a
table
winning
selection is.
strategy.
Usually not,
Like,
especially because
so
he's got
good.
Fail 1.
We have Legion and Crix out.
And Legion is usually pretty good. at
Dostajesz
scripts,
Kryks.
so
Yes.
that's what I
Which
assume.
everyone feels good about.
Yeah, they're probably
He
going
has to play
to
Chaos 3 and then off.
that.
So
That seems pretty good.
Jake
for
will wreck it with 7.
I think I like
No,
this
Brian.
for the American team to see if maybe the play skill of the Polish players can
Pull some of these out. We'll see.
Now it'll be very interesting to see.
And they're back in the tank.
The American
You see what I'm saying? Like, we were just like, whatever, we'll pick the tables.
And Protectorate plays Legion.
Oh, interesting. No, that's what we thought. No, that's not what we thought they were.
Yeah.
As you see it,
Yep.
like, did you actually sit down at one point and go, well,
Here's the thing. We
Let's
might
see,
view one matchup as a good matchup, and they might
Anthony,
also
they gave
see it as a
Legion.
good
Oh,
matchup.
no, that is
So
because
how do you
exactly
play
what
that?
no, I fully agree.
Yeah.
Because I was talking with the team last night.
Well, I hope you guys
played
enjoyed the
How
pairing
do they know what
process
the
there.
matchup is?
I think it's interesting. It's definitely a big part of this event. It's a big part of what happens every time they do a pairing. So they go through that, then they go through and pick their tables,
And we're back out.
and we'll see who we get on our table right now.
Yeah, absolutely. So
I actually think I
player,
heard Will Pagani say that he didn't want to take the microphone off. He was just going to stay there.
Oh, that'd be incredible.
Yeah, so I think that's what we might get.
Pagani commentary all game long. I'm in.
You might have to get used to the Pagani.
So speaking as a player from last year, I can tell you that the pairing process is absolutely the most important part of a team's overall strategy. I mean, if you go into this event just sort of flying by the seat of your pants and you don't think about the pairing process and you don't put any time or forethought into it,
It can be very difficult.
it's very detrimental.
Yeah, I actually talked to a couple of teams this year who didn't put a lot of time into the pairings and struggled quite a bit. They felt like that when they got to the table, they weren't prepared, didn't know what to talk about, and they ended up just saying, well, I guess I can handle that. And in the end, that doesn't work out. You have to have a better plan than that.
You need to have a plan.
I'm pretty sure that the sheets are already on the table, and that does look like Circle and Crix to me.
In the middle table?
Yeah, the table that we're streaming. Those are...
Are we back? Are we back? Testing.
Okay, well, welcome to Poland, where the Wi-Fi disconnects as often as you do.
Maybe I'll turn my phone's Wi-Fi off just to give it any additional chance. This is one of the challenges of quote-unquote esports.
Especially in Eastern Europe. Nothing bad about the Polish themselves, but their network infrastructure in this building needs a little work.
So it looks like we are going to get to watch Ryan Chiriboga again. How do you feel about that?
I don't feel too good about that, honestly, because his games, no offense to Ryan, they're a little boring.
He's a very by-the-books player, so this is going to be some by-the-books
He totally
play.
is, and he plays lists that are not extremely exciting. That's okay. He likes winning with them and does very well, but it'll be interesting to see how this plays out.
I would have liked to see a Will Pagani game. I love to watch that guy play, but it looks like it wasn't in the cards.
Yeah, that's okay.
So they have to choose the table that they feel most advantageous for in terrain.
Yeah, I tried to convince them that they should let me pick, and they told me off. So,
so let's talk about why we think that they might have chosen this table.
Okay.
So he's playing against Legion. What was the Legion matchups?
So the Legion matchups are Veil 2 and Thagrosh, or excuse me, Lilith 2, Thagrosh 2. So I'm thinking they chose this table because Ryan probably wants to, because there's a nice hill and a wall centrally.
And 2 trenches. So this table is extremely defensible versus shooting, specifically Lilith's type of shooting.
So,
and you'll notice too that both trenches and the hills and the wall are all located close enough to the zones that it's going to be able to allow them to play defensively with their caster, but still be able to threaten work up the table, or like getting into a zone, or good positioning. So
we've got a hill here and a hill over here. We've got 2 trenches at the bottom of the screen. We've got a wall pretty much centrally. The good thing here for Ryan is that regardless of whether he goes first or second, there is plenty of terrain on the table for him. There's also a obstruction over here, a building that can be used as well. It's a little out of place, so it's not necessarily going to get a whole lot of use. But we'll see. I actually think that there's a good chance that Ryan is going to pick to go second, and he's going to pick that side with the wall.
The wall, yeah. I would not be surprised either.
And I'm not just saying that because he moved to that side and placed his stuff there. Although that's part of it, I'm sure. There's a funny thing that happens in competitive Warmachine, even amongst the most competitive players. You get to round 6, and you can place your stuff on the side you want, and sometimes your opponent is too lazy because it's late in the day to move to the other side.
That's a sure thing against John Damaris.
So that's right.
By the way,
there are others. He's not the only one.
So I think they've probably already chosen their lists that they're going to play, but I would expect to see Lilith. I don't think he would want to play Thagrosh 2 into a Crix matchup. So
it depends on his Thagrosh 2 list. Let's take a look at it real quick.
Sure.
So his Thagrosh 2 list has Naga Night Lurker, a Rake, 2 Shredders, an Angelius, 2 Scythians, a Seraph, a Shepherd, and 2 Forsaken. Without the Ravagors in there, I don't feel like that's a list that can handle a large amount of Crix.
No.
So almost assuredly, we're going to see Lilith 2. Let's take a look at Ryan's list. We saw his other list last round.
Yeah, so he's playing Scar 1 and Goreshade 3. I would honestly expect Scar in this situation.
He feels pretty comfortable with Scar. He likes his Scar list a lot. His Goreshade 2 list is themed. It's Heresy of Shadows Tier 2. So it's Goreshade, Skarlock, Kraken with a Necrotech, Scrap Thralls, a whole bunch of them to use his feet on. He has Tartarus with a Necrotech and Scrap Thralls. He has...
Oh, I said Goreshade 3. I'm sorry, that's Goreshade 2.
Yeah, it's Goreshade 2.
I'm sorry.
It is tiered Goreshade 2. Bane Knights, Bane Thrall, 2 units of Bane Thralls with UAs. One of them is min, one's max.
So he wants to play that list specifically against living troop spam?
Yeah, he'll build 1,000,000 Banes over the course of the game.
And I don't think that he would particularly want to take a Kraken into a matchup where he was expecting Lilith 2, because the Kraken... Despite the fact that it has a number of boxes, I mean, it's a colossal. Lilith is probably going to be able to pin cushion it and then get it off the table in one turn, and that's going to just...
And that's
too many points. And then the main defense that list has is stealth, and as we all know, Legion does not care about stealth at all. Yeah. So that's what I'm honestly expecting Scar versus Lilith, but I would love to be surprised. So
it's possible we could be surprised, but I think you're probably right. So while they're getting set up, let's talk a little bit about this scenario. This scenario is process of elimination. There are 2 zones that are in the middle of the board. with some objectives inside the center of the zones. Those objectives are enemy to both players, and so they contest the zones for both players. The way you win this scenario is by getting to 5 control points. To get control points, you must destroy objectives first. Then once the zones are available to dominate or control, you can control them or dominate them with your Warcaster Warlock. And you do that by killing all the models that are in the zone. There's a few other requirements, but at the core of it, that's what you need to do. It's important to note that this particular scenario has kill box, which is sometimes difficult for players that have to deal with Lilith 2 because she has such a powerful ranged assassination threat.
Absolutely. So that actually is very relevant in this game because, like you said, Lilith 2 is a very well-known assassin, and I think that's probably the number one reason they chose this table was that there are multiple pieces of, not just a single piece of terrain, but multiple pieces of terrain that, regardless of the table side that he is stuck with, that he will be able to defend himself versus the assassination, or at least give himself a little bit of an edge. So kill box, the way it works is that the front of your caster has to be 14 inches onto the board. So the nearest edge into the middle of the board has to be at least 14 inches. If you look at the board, that's interesting because if they're on the sides, that means they almost have to be into the zone. From the back, they only have to be 4 inches off the edge of the zone. So you're actually fairly close to the fight when you're inside the kill box. Do you feel like this scenario favors the Ryan Chiriboga build a little bit? Considering that this is the Lilith player we saw earlier today. That's correct, right? Mikal.
That's a good question.
I believe it is. Yes, I believe it is. So, if I recall correctly, double Angel, double Ravagor, Naga.
That all sounds correct. Yes.
That is not. That is probably not enough things to
stand in the zone.
Get through the +5 strength, +5 armor, additional attack dice that Scar is going to be dropping.
Yeah, it is the same player that we looked earlier, and I'm pretty sure we're butchering his name, but yeah,
we do the best we can.
Yeah. Chad and I do not speak Polish. Just spoiler alert, it's not there. Okay, so let's take a look here at the terrain pieces that we talked about a little bit. So the table really doesn't have any of these. There's a single wheat field on there, but all it does really is have rough terrain, and it really doesn't affect the Legion player at all. It can affect a little bit the Mechana Thralls, but I don't know that it will. The Bane Knights in Ryan Chiriboga's list have Ghostly and pretty much ignore almost all terrain effects in the game for the most part that involve rough terrain. So there is one obstruction on the table, a building. It blocks line of sight. It can block movement, but we've got some interesting interaction here. We've got flying models and ghostly models, both of which can move through that building. If you're standing near the building, you get cover, which adds to your defense, makes you much harder to hit. But the important terrain pieces on this particular table are these. So there are 2 hills, 2 trenches, and a linear obstacle. The hills allow you to see over models, including models of your own base size. It also has a reciprocal effect that people can see, models can see the model on the hill. The benefit, though, is that the hill gives some defense bonus to range and magic attacks. Also, there's 2 trenches that were on that table, and they provide immunity to blast damage if the blast damage is outside the trench and kind of hangs over into it. And it also gives cover, much like these walls do, the linear obstacles.
As long as the model is completely within the trench, they get +4 defense to range and magic attacks made by models outside the trench. Yes,
so if 2 models get inside the trench together, it's sort of like getting in the mud pit.
Yeah, exactly.
So the linear obstacle and the wall that we think is going to be crucial in this game is a wall about 4 inches long usually, about 3/4 of an inch wide, that if you're within 1 inch of it, it gives you cover. So a +4 defense bonus is usually a big difference when you're rolling 2 dice or 3 dice to hit, which is what you normally roll in Warmachine.
So just to go over some quick math, if Scar is going to be benefiting from cover, which is likely, then that will put her at defense 20 versus Rat 5 Ravagors and Rat 5 Angeliuses.
Yes.
Which that means that if she can be benefiting from cover with no way of them ignoring it, that it basically takes the assassination entirely off the table. The Legion player can still go for it, of course, but needing 15s to hit, even with 6 shots, or 8 shots, it's still incredibly unlikely. Incredibly unlikely, considering that he'll probably need to hit with at least 2.
Let me ask you a tactical question.
Absolutely.
So if I were Ryan Chiriboga and I had the opportunity to take the other side, he's got 2 Helldivers in his list. Would you consider killing one of your own Helldivers on the hill to completely take the assassination off
100%.
the table? Yeah,
100%.
That is actually something I think might be happening.
Helldivers are only 3 points, and so you're basically playing 3 points down in your list.
We're wrong.
Oh,
we
it was
wrong.
We were wrong. We spent all this time talking about it.
Ryan chose Goreshade 2.
I'm very surprised by that. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, I'm surprised by it as well.
I wonder what his thought process is.
Well, we're not exactly sure what the other guy took, so let's wait a second and see. But
yeah, we could be entirely 100% wrong. I'd kind of hope that happens, actually.
It could be. Yeah, we may not even see the Legion player.
We spent all this time talking about.
We screwed up on the pairings.
Oh my gosh.
We apologize.
So embarrassing.
Indeed. So instead, we are seeing a Butcher 2-player. Is that correct? Yes. Interesting. Interesting. So it is the match of the Weapon Masters.
Yes.
So ignore everything we said for the last 10 minutes. It was great.
Yeah.
It was great commentary on a game that didn't happen. Instead, we have a tier 2 Mad Dogs of War list that has.
Is it 54?
7 units of Doom Reavers, so 42.
42 Doom Reavers.
That is an important number.
It's not the maximum amount of Doom Reavers because he decided to take a Conquest, which might actually weaken him in the Crix matchup, but the important thing is that Doom Reavers gaining advanced move and with their innate Berserk and Mat 7, it doesn't...
They can kill a lot of things.
They can kill a lot of infantry models, and that's exactly what Ryan is going to be bringing. Although, we talked about Ryan's Goreshade 2 list. What does it want to see? It wants to see infantry spam, and this is the definition of infantry. He's got 42 potential Banes.
Yeah, I mean, he could potentially... I've seen this type of matchup before where the Goreshade 2 player has ended the game with considerably more Banes than they started with.
Yeah. So the interaction we're talking about is Goreshade 2 has an elite cadre for Bane Thralls, wherein every time they kill a living warrior model, or it might just be a living model in his control radius, he gets to immediately add another Bane Thrall unit to an existing unit in his control radius.
15 armor, 16.
So every attack made by a Bane Thrall is just going to be making extra points for Ryan.
Yeah, it is a big deal for Ryan.
Even with Berserk, it's going to be almost impossible to overcome.
Especially with Tough on all of the Bane Thralls and Dead Rise.
Right.
So Tough, they're granted Tough from the UA, and this tier allows him to take 2 UAs, which is a really big deal here.
Right.
And every time one of them toughs, they get to get up at the beginning of their turn rather than the normal Tough rules where they get knocked down and they have to forfeit their movement and action. These Bane Thralls are just going to get up and move deeper and kill more stuff.
So as the chat is pointing out right now, Doom Reavers are defense 13, and that's the one thing. Bane Thralls are going to be needing 7s to hit.
They're going to need 7s to hit.
Except for the unit that's cursed. He's going to be able to curse 1 unit a turn until Tartarus dies.
Hopefully if he plays it well, Tartarus will last a long time, but it may be difficult in this matchup.
Are you showing favoritism right now, Trevor?
Believe it or not, I might be an American.
So as long as Tartarus can stay alive, that's going to be basically 6 Banes a turn. I expect to see a lot of models die on Butcher's feet, as usually happens, but it's so hard. I can't stress it enough. I've seen this before. It's so hard to overcome the just advancing tide of Banes that keep growing themselves. You know, every single attack he makes is just going to be points in the hole, basically.
Yeah, he doesn't even really need to have a positive exchange back and forth. He just needs to be, like, for every 2 Banes he loses, he just needs to kill 1 Doom Reaver, and he ends up being even in the exchange.
It's also worth mentioning that the other strength of the Doom Reaver theme force is what you said, 7 units, so that's 7 abomination checks, and Ryan playing an entirely undead army does not
no
have to care
abomination
about that
checks
at
for
all.
him. So how much do you feel like the 2 Colossals in the game are going to affect this? One of the things that's interesting is Doom Reavers usually die fairly easily to blast damage and gunshots.
Right.
But the Kraken
has a fairly large AoE.
It does have a fairly large AoE with a good range, but if it gets even close to one of those Doom Reavers, it's going to blow up.
Yeah, it will die to Doom Reaver charges, that's for sure. But that could be a ruse. Bunch all your guys up around this Kraken. Give me a bunch of free Bane Thralls next turn.
Yeah, indeed.
You know, one thing I was talking about with Ryan just last night is it's how important Tartarus is in this matchup. Not just for the curse, but actually his death toll ability.
Yes.
Almost doubles in this matchup. It basically doubles, because for every additional Bane that he creates with death toll, he can place that Bane, and then that Bane gets to make another Bane. So it's basically like whenever he kills a model, he gets to make 2 models almost.
Yeah.
So if you can, it might even be worth it to send the Kraken up there. Hey, charge this guy with 6 guys.
See how many you're going to get out of it.
I'll have Tartarus go in. He'll make 6 Banes. They'll make 6 more Banes.
Ryan's certainly not going to have any issues killing the Conquest, which really doesn't have a lot of defense against Bane Thralls.
As long as any number of Banes exist at the end of the game, that Conquest is not going to be. So the other thing to worry about, though, is that Ryan, I would think that Ryan would be aware of this, but he might not be, is that the Doom Reaver theme force does have a surprisingly good assassination on the feat turn.
Yeah, absolutely.
So the way Butcher 2's feat works is for every model that he kills in his control, or every model that dies in his control radius, enemy model, he gets a Fury token and a Rage token.
Yeah, it's a Rage token.
And then at the end of his turn, after all models have completed their activation, he can assign Rage tokens to any number of models in his control radius, friendly models. Up to 3 per model.
Yep.
And
including jacks.
Yes, including jacks and including solos. So when a model spends so what models can do with Rage tokens is they can spend the first one to make a full advance, and then to make an attack. And then they can also spend them to buy attacks, to boost attacks, and to boost damage rolls. So as long as he can generate 3 Rage tokens, he can have any model run to be within walking distance of Ryan's caster.
Correct.
And have a pretty good shot at walking and engaging that guy and making 3 weapon master attacks on them. And that's just with 3 Rage
the other thing that Butcher 2 has is conferred Rage. So quite frequently when I would play Butcher 2, I would get Butcher to hit a model, an enemy model, kill it, getting conferred Rage, which gives his Jack +2 speed. And a +2 mat. Now, he can't do it quite as well with the Conquest because it can't move outside of its normal movement. But with a normal Jack, you would be able to then have it run 12 inches and then continue and advance another 6. And then you have a Jack on their opponent's caster with bot attacks. And against a lot of casters, that would just outright end the game.
Absolutely. That's not going to work with a Colossal, but that would absolutely work with, like...
It does. The thing that's going to be interesting here is how for me, is how aggressive he gets with Butcher 2. Because if Butcher 2 gets up there, he can kill 15 to 20 Banes himself.
He can theoretically kill Infinity Banes.
Yeah, that's true. It's depending on how close together they are.
So yeah, you know what? I would like to see a homicidal maniac spree in this game. I think that would be amazing. Pretty fun.
It was one of my favorite things to do when I played Butcher 2. Yeah. It is an amazing thing to see.
Crushering, as I call it, is literally my favorite thing in the entire game.
Oh, and nobody does it as well as Butcher 2.
Yeah.
Nobody.
Yeah. As long as he gets a good stack of focus. I'm curious about what he rolled for his focus on the first turn. It's not incredibly relevant.
At one of the tiers, he gets full focus, but I don't believe he's gone to that tier level. I believe this is only tier 2, and I think you have to go to tier 4 to get full focus on the first turn.
So what I expect is that the Banes are going to run out, and they're just going to form a big old cloud, and it's just going to be a melee slog in the middle of this table.
Oh, there's going to be
probably until Dice Down happens. So you're in for a treat.
So let's talk about this Goreshade 2 list again. It has a Kraken, which is on the hill right there in the middle. He's got a unit of Bane Thralls that are right there underneath the Kraken, and below them there's a unit of Bane Knights. There's a second unit of Bane Thralls that's at the top of the table there. And then he's got a whole bunch of Scrap Thralls at the back. And the reason he has the Scrap Thralls is because Goreshade's feat allows him to remove models and then replace them with models that have been destroyed. So he can sacrifice some of these Banes trivially to his opponent and then use his feat to use those cheap Scrap Thralls, 3 Scrap Thralls per point, to remove them and replace those Scrap Thralls with Banes on the table.
Right. So it's very similar to Morvana 2's feat.
18. 3 plus 1. Yeah, right.
Nope. Tilt.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
Optimistic this is. So there's 88. They have refund times. You have
Good.
I am very sorry, everyone. We're having a little bit of technical difficulties here, but I believe we're back at least temporarily. We'll try to give you everything we can. So in the meantime, since we've been gone, we were talking a little bit about Goreshade 2's feat before we got cut off. But give us just a moment to get back up to speed here. We need to change the turn marker because it is now the bottom of turn 1, Marcin's turn, and he is moving all those Doom Reavers up and into position. One of the things that he has the benefit of is he definitely out-threatens those Banes. He's got speed 6 troops with reach.
Yeah. In this case, I just don't think it... Most of the time, threat range is king in this game, but in this case, I just don't think
I don't know that it's going to matter. He can only kill so many Banes, and then they start creating new Banes, and it starts sliding downhill.
I'll tell you, though, I'll feel like such a fool if we end up being wrong about our prediction in this match.
You know what? If it is, it's because of something that it's because of excellent play by Marcin. I mean, I don't think that this is necessarily a bad matchup for him, but it's certainly one that he can't make very many mistakes and be able to come back from.
Yeah. So I would expect the Kraken to start launching AoEs into these guys next turn for the Crix player. Just get a little bit of first blood.
the conquest will charge 11 inches here, avoiding the
So it sounds like he's charging.
That's an interesting choice.
I assume that's just because he charges for free. He probably didn't want to spend any focus off of it.
I did see him pull a focus off of it, so that's interesting. I don't know.
Well, no, Conferred Rage you always charge for free.
I know, but that's what I'm saying. I saw him have a focus that he pulled off of it.
Oh.
And maybe I'm wrong. Maybe those 2 focus that he pulled off were a spell. He might have cast a spell from Butcher, but the only thing I can think of is that he doesn't have any upkeep spells that would matter. So,
no,
I don't know. It's possibly put Boundless Charge onto the Conquest to get a little extra speed.
Yeah. So we charged the objective there just for some extra speed. Yeah, I think that's what happened.
It's quite possible. Though I don't believe targeting the objective is legal. You probably had to target one of those Banes.
So you upcast the Shadow Pack, and you just boosted, right? So that's 2.
Yeah, if the Kraken stays there, it's not going to last for very long.
So it's interesting to note as well, for those that may not be up on their history of the WTC, these are the same 2 teams that played last year for the championship. And Team Poland, the Reckless, was able to pull it out last year.
Yeah.
I believe in a pretty close game. It was 3-2, right?
3-2, and at least 2 of their wins were very, very close games.
So this is sort of a grudge match for these 2 teams to come back. The team makeup is a little different for Team USA, but I believe it's pretty much the same for the Polish team.
Sure, he's going to be a 17.
I'm not sure about that. I think it's at least 4 of the same 5.
Yeah.
I think they might have 1 different. I'm not sure.
Marcin for sure was on the team last year. Ryan's opponent right here. So we've definitely got one of the guys who was on the team last year for the championship.
And the USA team, is unchanged from last year, except, well, no, that's not true. I'm sorry. It's only Pagani and Brian White are the same returning members.
Yes. So Ryan is the person we're streaming right now is a new member to Team USA. He's fairly new to the game of Warmachine, but he's had a really illustrious career in the short amount of time that he has been in the game.
So I believe that Marcin's turn has ended.
He will go. Application.
So Goreshade 2's spell list. Does he have Occultation? Did he just put Occultation onto the Bane?
He does have Occultation. And this is just off the top of my head, so I could be wrong about this, but I'm going to give it a go.
No,
it's Occultation.
I'm pretty sure he does have Occultation. Yeah, I know he has Hex Blast.
He's got a spell that grants countercharge to a single model.
Which doesn't normally get played.
No. But can be useful on Tartarus.
Indeed.
Although it might be Trooper only, I'm not sure. Then he's also got a spell that grants Phantom Seeker, which is usually put on the...
So here.
Yeah, 4 models.
Okay. Yep. Okay, so I'm going to boost on all 3. Okay. So POW 14.
Yeah, hit eyes.
POW 7, your armor 14, right? So I need 8s.
Yeah.
So here. Yes.
Yes.
Here. Yes. Here. Yes.
If you'll excuse me for a moment, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to see if I can find the building manager to see if we can get this fixed. I will leave my compatriot here to continue talking about the game.
So what you guys missed was he launched a Kraken AoE and killed a group of three Doom Reavers, all. And now he's taking his single shot.
Yes. Not snakes. Yes.
As I'm sure you can hear.
Yes. Yes. They'll go. Toe. Toe. Toe.
So you see Ryan's towing the zone here with his Bane Thralls. He's just preparing to not lose this scenario zone. Although, you know, with the conquest guns and feats, that zone could still be easily cleared.
Run.
But
Run charge.
it's at least good to put a couple of things there.
Where are you? Let's try here. I'm going to measure all 10.
So you are charging?
Yeah.
Okay. Is that?
Yeah. So 8.
So just outside of reach, right? Yeah, there's nothing you would do. What do you want to do? Something like that, a bit more.
Run.
So I expect him to put a couple of feeder Bane Knights out that he's going to have to try and deal with to let his Doom Reavers charge past, and then he's going to keep the bulk of them in the back to try and get the maximum benefit from Vengeance.
3. 6. He's an 8.
So he's he's measuring maximum command range there.
Together's will go.
And then it's going to have the rest of them positioned for counter charging next turn.
Here. Run. Toe.
Maybe like backside.
We'll toe here.
No.
Like that. No help. Here. Toe. Sure.
I hate half of this game.
Did it do it again?
It hasn't. That's not.
Oh, don't worry about this.
Yeah.
That's what we need to worry about right here. 10% of our frames are being dropped, and if that's red, that means that we're not. It's really choppy right now. Essentially, is what's happening.
Goreshade will lock. 1, 2. Check kill box. I'm just going to move him real quick. 14. So he's okay?
Like 100. Don't think he's currently under a Kraken.
He is or he's not?
I think he's under the Kraken. That's the only way I can see it.
Right there? I'm just trying to stay in kill box, and basically what would be equivalent to basing the Kraken.
I think that you are in the kill box, but you are under the Kraken. You're not under the Kraken. No? Okay.
Yep. Okay, real quick, kill box.
Okay, so we're going to struggle with what we're doing, but the good thing is that this is being recorded locally on
here.
Are we back?
We are currently live.
We are back.
I don't know how long that's going to last.
They will move up.
You guys didn't want to see the championship game, did you?
No. So I believe that Goreshade is currently base to base with the Kraken
on the other side where we can't
on the
see
other
it.
side of the camera. I am. Oh, and he only rolled 3 focus this turn. D6 plus 1. I wonder if we're going to see a Butcher feat turn and he's going to try and attempt to kill Goreshade. It looks like he's.
Second turn of second player, so I can damage
I think he could easily generate 5 or 6 Fury tokens, depending on how Conquest goes.
Let's see. So Butcher's back behind that hill. If he gets, he might have to charge his own Doom Reaver.
Yeah, which is fine. He'll do that.
The worst part of that is the Butcher can't choose to not take his 360-degree attack.
That's true.
But they're all sacrificed for the cause of no. I really hope that I'll be able to keep this together and get it on YouTube later. If not, I apologize to everyone out there for what is happening right now.
So yeah.
So we're back for.
Sorry again, folks.
Quick! We got 2 minutes.
Yeah. Okay. Not sure what you guys are hearing and not hearing, but where we're at right now is we're basically waiting to see if the Butcher is going to feat and try and kill Goreshade. The kill box, Goreshade having to be up into the kill box,
but they cannot attack.
Might have made him a little bit too vulnerable.
He could definitely. Let's see if
I assume he's camping 7 though, so. That would put him at armor 23, and that's pretty difficult.
I hate this, Mike.
It is, but we're talking about Weapon Masters with Rage tokens.
His best bet then would be to boost his damage rolls, which means he'd probably only get 2 or 3 boosted damage rolls.
So let's pretend he kills that one.
Now he avoids
that one.
And charges along
that one.
Okay.
I'm not sure what else he could get in his feet.
I think Conquest might be able to kill.
And do you think the Butcher can get that guy into his control area?
Oh, that might be a tall order.
Yeah.
I guess the control radius issue might limit it to just 2 or 3.
However, if he can somehow get this one as well, he can get those 5 guys with feet. Except for it looks like he's not going to do that. He's going to just start clearing some models and hold on to that potential.
Interesting.
The interesting thing is that Goreshade is not going to be able to really back up. So he may get this opportunity later.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
This guy is outside.
Okay.
Yeah, the longer Butcher holds his feet, the more potential there are for more and more rage tokens as that Bane Swarm fills up. I just worry that the cloud is going to be too huge.
It's hard to say, but Butcher himself can generate a significant amount of rage tokens if he's in the right place. Though, the unfortunate thing is, in this particular matchup, if he fails to kill a significant amount in retaliation with those feat tokens, he's going to die. He can't camp enough focus against Banes to keep him alive.
That's true, and he's actually camping 0 right now.
Yeah.
He allocated all 3 of his focus that he rolled to the Conquest, so...
I tell you what, a Butcher 2 that rolls 2 on the die, sad. Pen.
Oh, it's sad.
You'll charge the objective.
Okay.
But I just wanted to point it out that with Phantom Seeker on the Kraken, he's still got a POW 15 gun.
Yeah, that is a big deal against Armor 18.
Armor 18. I mean, he's not going to one-shot him, but
And this guy here as well.
something to worry about. I don't expect to see that, though, because Doom Reavers
he
are
would
very
lose the
vulnerable to
Kraken
that
for
blast
that.
damage, and he's just going to want to try and get rid of as many as possible.
So we see the first of the tough rolls.
This guy here, 11, miss.
Wow, he missed a Bane.
Will go first.
Not often that
worst.
happens.
-5.
The worst.
That's like 10 points of damage.
Yep.
The guy in the front.
He's making a play for scenario
after
here.
him, it's a kill.
Yep.
1 control point for me.
So with the objective gone, that's going to be 1 point to Marcin.
He kills.
Now if the remaining Doom Reavers and Conquest can kill that Bane out of that zone,
This guy will be
that's 2 control points.
Yep. That's kind of a big deal because Butcher is one of those casters that can get into a zone fairly easily and do pretty good inside the zone if he spaces well. So Butchers might move a little closer to that zone next turn, and we might see this other objective go down, probably from Ryan, because he's not going to want to leave that on the table.
No. He's absolutely going to want to kill the other objective and then get the Kraken in one of the zones. But that's the difficult thing about facing against this list, is that you have to usually worry so much about you have to worry about the swarm of Berserk Weapon Masters. You have to worry about the constant possibility of being able to die from defeat and the rage tokens and the run and move and the extra attacks. And then once you've stopped worrying about all of that, you've got a scenario pressure.
Absolutely, and it starts fairly far up the board.
That's
Run charge. This guy will go in this direction.
And you mentioned it earlier. It doesn't necessarily matter in this matchup, but just the sheer amount of terror checks that it can cause.
Right. These are 2 fairly important tough checks.
Yes, they are.
This guy will run, but first those guys.
It's a little interesting to me that he doesn't have any of his units completely within the zone.
Conquest, I believe, is going to...
Oh, you think... I forgot the Conquest hasn't gone yet. For some reason I was thinking he had already shot.
I would be surprised if I mean, it's a half inch there, or less.
He does have 3 focus on the Conquest yet. He hasn't activated him yet. Yep. He's probably going to just step into the zone and take some shots deep.
That's what I would expect.
Okay, this guy runs, measures his command, yet 5 inches.
But I would have backed down. No, impact happened before
No, we have I don't usually see this. We have a Greylord unit attachment.
He does have 1 unit in the list that has the Greylord attachment.
So that'd be the green unit of Doom Reavers gain tough and silence.
Okay, so the green one attacks this guy first. Yep. Nope.
That's a miss.
The guy in the back. It's a hit.
Oh, Ryan needs this tough bad. And he gets
That's
it.
good. That's very important.
That is a big deal.
I'm higher. I'm 10. Not very much.
Trevor, have I ever talked to you about which rule I hate in the game the most?
Well, let me guess, since you're a troll player.
It couldn't possibly be tough. I'm a troll player.
You know, everybody else looks at us and says, oh, you troll players, you have tough. Yeah. And the troll players are like, yeah. And you know how many games I've lost because I didn't roll enough toughs?
So, do you expect him to shoot to lob AoEs over it. Yep. So he's going to lob AoEs up into his own guys to try and kill this Bane to get a chance, which is, I think, the correct play.
Yeah, I mean, at this point,
this scenario pressure is going to be very real if you can get this
right, and the Doom Reavers are sort of irrelevant. Those two are going to die anyway.
Yeah.
In fact, if he kills them, he keeps Ryan from getting more Banes.
It is better for him to kill his own Doom Reavers
than to let Ryan do it.
Yeah.
I think he's in. So just him? For 6.
That's pretty funny, actually.
Yeah.
I just realized that.
So now he has Conquest into the zone, and he's trying to kill that last Bane. He misses with the first one, deviates in the wrong direction.
It's going too far.
And he again goes too far in the wrong direction.
One more chance, I believe.
He's got 2 more. Each shot from the sides gets a second shot if it doesn't kill the target.
Oh, I thought they had to hit.
No.
Oh,
they do not.
That's a lot of chances then.
Yeah, but he's not rolling well for his deviations.
Yeah.
Oh, that got it.
So here. Yep.
I'll boost the.
Got 1 out of his.
Boost some damage.
10.
Yeah.
Needs a 10.
No.
Failed to get it.
Here.
That's huge.
I'll boost it.
No.
Main guns on him.
That's a little tough. Right there. Getting 4 AoEs. Yeah, that's tough.
Yeah.
Okay.
Excuse the puns. But needing 4 AoEs on a single target, not getting any of them, and
failing the 10.
And failing the 10 to force the tough roll. And to be fair, 33% of the time, which in troll language is 17% of the time, Ryan would have toughed.
And then he just shot his big cannon. And
that's
that
what
also
that last one
deviated
was,
off.
and missed, yeah. And that one, if he'd gotten that one on, it's bigger, higher pow, more likely
And
to
you know
kill.
what? He didn't even kill any of his own Doom Reavers.
That's some Banes for Ryan.
I've got to think that's a mistake, Trevor. You have to kill your own Doom Reavers every
Kill
chance
your
you
own
get.
Doom Reavers, Marcin. That is
how you
tactical
win.
tips coming from Trevor and Chad.
Trevor and Chad may or may not be.
Yeah, we may or may not know how the hell to play Kador.
Yeah.
Yellow guys, activate. They just move.
Well, that was interesting. He measured out and then moved back.
I wouldn't be surprised if he kills these 2 Bane Knights. He's going for it.
Huh, interesting. Gonna give Ryan some vengeance moves.
Hit with the second guy.
Vengeance.
Wow. Oh, he hasn't activated that that light gray or light blue unit on the very bottom yet. But right now we're looking at the 9 Vengeance Dream.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he's going to send them in to try to get those guys that are in the trench on the other side there. I think he might be a little out, though. It looks a little bit far. Oh, he doesn't
draw. Yeah, I was going to say.
He doesn't seem to be doing that at all.
You see my intent.
The 8 Vengeance Dream, slightly less good, but still pretty good.
Yeah, still pretty good.
Now they hit.
That is not rough terrain, just in case you guys are wondering. Those are trenches. The 2 terrain pieces at the bottom of the table are trenches.
Yeah. They normally have the trench covers on the side, but they take them off for ease of play. So
Yes.
they ended up looking like little rectangular.
Yeah, most of the players at this event didn't leave them on the table very long. It's a lot like having trees on your tree template at most conventions.
Yeah, exactly.
They get taken off the table almost instantly.
That's exactly right. So it looks like he's going to be able to pretty easily make 5 new Banes next turn.
Yeah, in fact, he's going to be able to make a Bane here, a Bane here, I believe this is also a Doom Reaver.
It is.
This one is probably going to become a Bane as well. And possibly this one as well. That is.
I highly expect all 5 of those guys to die.
Yeah. So this min unit up here is going to become a max unit pretty quickly.
I think he could also potentially get these 2 in front of the wall if you want to mark those.
So possibly those 2.
Yes, because Tartarus can curse this green unit, and that'll give +2 charge.
Oh, sure. So Tartarus is standing right here, and if he curses that black unit, it will give him extra distance to there.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would be
so
interesting.
I think we could be looking at 5 to 7 new Bane Thralls appearing out of nowhere.
Yeah, that would be a pretty big swing, honestly.
Yeah. And it would maintain a relative safety for Tartarus.
Yeah, Tartarus doesn't really have to get involved at all.
I would just check one thing at the end of the turn to see if just to make sure.
I measured to him before. Sure. I mean, I measured to him, that was my intention. I actually backed up until he was right there.
Well, that would have been huge, actually, if he wasn't in command, because then he would have scored that point.
Okay, put you back there.
Where at?
Oh, they just measured command for the Bane Thrall to see if he stood for Dead Rise.
Yeah.
But if he was out of command, then actually it would just mean they didn't need to kill him anyway. Out of command models cannot contest.
Okay, will an occultation go away? I will upkeep sudden death. So 3 on Goreshade, 3 on the Kraken.
I kind of want him to can't more than 3.
It's a little dangerous.
Yeah, if he's got to worry about that feat, and he can't back up without ceding 2 control points, which seems like a suicide. We'll see. It depends on how much he can kill. If he can kill all the guys we think he can, and that's just with the Banes, I want to say too.
Yeah. We didn't really talk about what the Kraken can do.
Right, the Kraken can launch AoEs anywhere on the table pretty much by now, and have a good chance, especially with 3.
Yeah, and I think that the possible Kraken target of choice is actually that Grey Lord.
Yeah, I 100% agree. That is a really juicy grouping up there.
Right, and I don't know. I'm not even sure that he needs to move to get it done.
Right. What's the range on that gun? Pretty high. 15,
14 or 15. Yeah, I'm sorry, not a Crix player.
That's pretty.
But it's definitely long. A lot of times, he could also kill shot it if he wanted to. He could hit one of those Banes in front. Although he probably wants to make new Banes with those.
That's true. That's an option. He could gobble them up for the corpse.
Yeah,
tokens.
he could get corpse tokens, get some power and strength to be able to deal with that conquest later in the game.
I think I'd like 3 more Banes better.
3 Banes is a big deal.
Yeah.
But he would get a free kill shot that would let him take it on that Grey Lord.
This list is the definition of more Banes.
Yeah, it certainly is. So down here on the lower scenario, was it his? I'm assuming it was his intention to put those 3 Doom Reavers in the zone. They don't look like they're in the zone, but I'm guessing he
did declare their
towing. He did declare them as touching the zone. So that's going to be another possible target for the Kraken to try to shoot a couple of those off.
Oh yeah, he could.
Probably the farther ones, and then have the closer Bane kill the one that's in the upper corner, and then kill the objective and potentially score 2 points himself.
He could start scoring his own points. Yeah, absolutely. It's not. No, I'm sorry. Never mind. I forgot that the conquest is in the top zone. I was going to say it's not unfeasible for him to clear both zones, but
it kind of is.
It's probably not going to happen.
Oh, interesting. He is sending Tartarus in.
I think that's fine. Like I said, he's going to make 3 Banes that are going to make 3 more Banes.
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
And this is going to let them get deep into that Greylord cluster.
So we actually, because he's doing this, we sort of miscounted before. He's going to send that Bane probably into that blue guy in front of the in front of the Greylord.
We could see as much as 10. We could see as much as 10 new Banes this turn. This list.
Yeah, it's that ridiculous.
Oh man!
In the matchups that it likes, it just creates Banes and more Banes.
Now it is worth noting too that these green Doom Reavers have tough, so
that's true.
That can always throw a wrench into the equation.
So 17% of the time. You know, on that 5 and 6, which should be 33%.
You know, you'd think that, but I found that tough works generally twice as good for non-troll models.
That's true. I would agree with that.
Tough.
So that's he's going to need to make 1 tough check, 2 tough checks. And that guy's just dead.
Tough. No, tough.
So 1 tough out of the 2, and 2 new Banes.
That's good. Those are important tough checks too, because like I said, each tough check there is essentially 2 Banes. He's not going to have to.
Yeah, I mean the Bane he creates here is going to go deep.
Yeah.
I was hoping to get out of his way. Let's see here. Okay, so right there.
So measuring the command to be placing that Bane.
I like that always or in your control.
So I do want to point out, as is going on in the chat, we are kind of talking up.
So I was trying to measure to this guy.
We are kind of talking up the Bane potential quite a bit.
But we've also talked up the feat potential from Butcher 2.
Butcher's feed is absolutely one of the best equalizers. It's so he can kill easily all of the models that Goreshade makes this turn. And
okay, so we're going to start the Bane count.
The Bane count. I love it. What are we up to? 2?
We've created 2.
So here, run charge.
Why don't you have a pre-prepared graphic for this?
I'm underprepared. I apologize to everyone.
First, so I go 10 inches. Yeah. Okay.
So next Bane charges in.
He's going to try to go there. So let me get a Froxy base out. Here it is. And then we'll check free strikes. I'd like to stay at max melee, which looks right about there. Okay, now let me...
This just seems a little disgusting, I have to admit. I am looking forward to Butcher's next turn, though. I think there's going to be some dead Banes.
Yeah, it's definitely... We got the Bane count, and then we got the dead Bane count.
Yeah. We're going to start that, too.
Yeah, are you sure? Do you want the screen just full of tallies?
Maybe yes. We're doing the dead Bane count.
All right.
This is for next turn. Obviously, we haven't got there yet, but it's going to happen. We know it's going to happen.
Here. Here.
Yeah, these green Doom Reaver tough checks are so important right
to this matchup right now.
We're overstating it a little bit, but yeah.
Not much.
That's honestly how I feel whenever I'm playing against them.
I mean, if those three green Doom Reavers turn into more Banes, like it's just an explosion of
versus
Banes
making a tough check and then the middle one stands up and almost kills all 3 of them just by himself. Yeah. Barring, of course, Bane tough checks.
He'll run. 6. So it's 9.
I will say that we.
So he's done a pretty good job of spreading out his Banes. He's got them from here to eternity, essentially, which is a really good thing, because if somehow Marcin was able to remove the whole unit, it would really negate Goreshade's feat.
Yeah, it's very difficult to do if someone's...
Yeah, there's almost always one that's basically almost off the table edge.
If you're spacing your models correctly, it's very difficult to do. And I don't... Ryan, this is Ryan's favorite list, so I don't think that he would make a mistake.
No, he would definitely not. It's more for those out there who maybe look to play this list.
Absolutely.
In their own home store.
It's going to go up one. Well,
I think it's more than 1 inch straight, and you cannot go straight.
So I will double check here.
Oh, it looks like this guy might be out.
He's still got more movement.
Yeah, I think it's okay.
Yeah, okay.
But he still may not be able to get that one guy at the bottom.
Okay. I need, I'm at 8, so I need 5s. Tough. Yeah.
So those Bane, or those Doom Reavers are cursed, so he's mat 8 against them.
Yes. And then 2 toughs here.
And then he'll need 7s against the blues.
Oh, sure.
Dice down, in a bad way.
You want me to do it now?
Yeah, like 1 by 1.
Okay, sure.
So we've created another Bane, and he's put it in that unit, which actually allows it to still activate, which is a little ridiculous.
They don't get to make attacks when they come in, do they?
Yeah, they do.
No, they don't.
I could be wrong.
No, they absolutely cannot.
Okay. Here.
Oh my God! Check it.
I am checking it.
And 7.
Because it could quite be that ridiculous.
B5. This guy here. He does.
Let's 1, 2, 3 more.
So we got 3 more.
Help us out, chat. What's our Bane count up to? I believe it's 5.
Kraken will walk to here.
So we're up to a total of 5 created this turn.
Like 4.
Yeah, they cannot. I'm 100% sure.
You're correct. So the rule that he's using to create these Banes, when a friendly Bane Thrall model in this model's control area destroys a living enemy warrior model, you can add 1 Grunt to the Bane Thrall unit. The Grunt must be placed completely in the model's controller, in this model's control area, being Goreshade, and in formation, and then they cannot activate the turn they are brought into play.
Moving the Kraken up to provide LOS blocking.
That is a little unlike the ones that are created by Tartarus, who definitely can activate the turn.
Let me just think about that 1 second.
Which is why Tartarus is so huge in this matchup.
Oh, that's right, I'm already okay.
I think you're over Tartarus now.
Okay.
So we got correction from the chat. It looks like we are up to a 6 for our Bane count.
I know, right? Okay. With the big gun, he's touching or no?
Yeah, he was supposed to.
Okay, does he have reach?
Yeah. There is no guy without reaching.
Okay. So I just had a little gun there.
I believe we missed the one that was up near the obstruction.
And the far one being out of command range.
Yeah, the bottom one was out of command, so he wasn't able to make his attack.
But he still has those lower unit of Bane Thralls to activate.
I'll boost.
Okay, so it's
Our field reporter, One Chili Winners, has told us that JVM has won his game on scenario. So the Team USA is now up 1 game in this best of 5 games match.
So 4 in. So from guys, here and here.
4 inches?
Yes.
Sorry. The only question is whether your guy is in the center.
I think your angle is too steep. I think it needs to be over just a tiny bit.
Can you come? From this guy 4 inches into the direction.
So they're having a judge come in to adjudicate that deviation.
And this is 3 inches.
It's a 4.
Yeah.
Looks like it has caught 2 of the Doom Reavers.
I will boost on
Butcher rolls good focus next turn.
So
it could be bad, yeah.
You could see that killing spree.
Yeah, absolutely. So he's boosting blast damage on the 2.
2 dead Doom.
And he's got both of them.
+1. Sure. I don't know why I rolled 2, sorry.
It's so disappointing when the Kraken kills a Doom Reaver. More Banes don't show up.
Yeah.
So how's that?
How is he ever going to fill the table with Banes?
Just don't even shoot with that guy.
Is that Crixergy?
Crixergy?
When you don't get more Banes?
No, it's Scorner Kraken. I don't.
Scorner Kraken.
Do you mind if I check the range?
He might fit in the Scorn faction. Yes.
I think about 12. Just about. Is it in 12 though?
Ryan taking another shot at basically the same target.
Okay. So I get 2 shots. We're going to try here. Sure. 12.
Maybe not.
So I need 8. Again. Yes. Power 12. Not snakes. So yes.
So he did get 1, but it looks like he's going to have a difficult time killing enough of those guys to be able to... oh, no, he might actually be able to send in the top guy on the top Doom Reaver and the bottom guy on the bottom Doom Reaver and still kill the objective and still score 2 points.
Oh, I think he can easily do that.
Yeah.
Easily. Remember, there's still a unit of Bane Knights down here with 8.
Yeah.
And then a unit of Bane Thralls that hasn't even gone yet. And so I expect
the Bane
to see...
Thralls just don't really have much range on anything, though.
Yeah. Well, I expect to see at least these 2 green Doom Reavers make some
the 2
additional
green Doom
tough
Reavers
checks.
in the middle should be making some tough checks.
Yeah. Potentially become more Banes.
Cards here.
Yep.
And then
quite possibly.
It's only going to take. I mean, any of these back models can charge that objective. And
oh yeah, the objective is not going to be the issue.
They're Banes. 2 of them will do it. You know, it's fine.
So now he's going to have all of his Bane Thralls should be in that zone. Maybe not. Nope, he's going to go for other things. But he does have that other unit. He can move those into the zone and score it if he'd like.
He's also got Necrotechs that he can score with and a Skarlock.
He does have 2 Necrotechs. I didn't see them. They're sitting right behind that hill. It would be easy to drop that 1 on the bottom into the zone.
This is looking like a really good turn for Ryan.
7?
I would... Right now, with the way that this is going, I'm fully expecting a assassination attempt next turn.
Ooh. Did he miss both of those? He did not kill either of those Doom Reavers.
Oh, well, that's fine. They need 7s to hit, so it's pretty...
Yeah.
Killing 1 out of 3 is not super unlikely.
It just takes those points that he could potentially have gotten off the table.
Right. And the nice thing is, and the most frustrating thing in the world is that Bane Thralls, or Bane Knights, of course, tie you up with their reach. And then they completely ignore yours.
Yeah.
So, sorry if I'm letting the frustration seep into my voice. I probably shouldn't have been chosen for the Crix commentary.
Oh no! It is perfect. Trust me, there are literally hundreds watching this right now who have the same frustration.
Was that a failed charge right there? It didn't count.
I believe it. It looks like a failed charge.
That does look like a failed charge.
Run. Oh, he forgot. Run. That's 8. Check 9. So yes. Sure. He'll run. Okay. Here. It's a 16. I'm an 11
3
off 5.
Banes on the objective should go down.
So 8. Off 5. It's dead.
That's 1 point for Ryan.
Nope. I'm an 8. Yep, I needed 5s. So that's there.
And then he misses with his charge, so that Bane count is not going to go any higher. 6 is pretty good, though. Remember, we predicted about 5 to 7. So.
Yeah, I mean, although it could have been a lot bigger.
They'll run up. You still have 2 here, and you're okay here.
I kind of want him to put occultation on Goreshade with the Skarlock.
They all went. Goreshade hasn't gone, but
just for safety's sake. I mean, the Bane Thrall, the Bane Knights. At this point, occultation's not going to matter.
Yeah, it doesn't really matter on the Bane Knights at this point.
So he's already in.
If he takes it off him, sure, the Conquest could spend his activation killing them, but that's sort of a wasted activation in this situation.
I'm just saying, if he's going to go all in on this assassination plan,
1 upkeep.
which I'm not saying he even is. Like I was wrong about that like 3 or 4 times in the first game that we commentated today.
Sure, but I definitely think it's something that Ryan and Marcin have to have in the back of their heads at all times because it is such a difficult thing to stop, especially if Butcher can go on a rampage and clear out a lot of models that would be in the way.
Right, and it's mostly that it seems the way that this seems like it's swinging to me, and of course, like we said, Butcher's feet can change everything. But the way that it seems like it's swinging is that this wave of Banes that make more Banes that make more Banes is just becoming it's too much.
Yeah, it's going to be too much for Butcher over the long haul.
And the Banes have made enough ground on the table too by now that Conquest is starting to become very threatened. And
oh, absolutely.
It's starting to look pretty severe. It looks like he rolled a 2 again on focus. That
super sad Butcher.
That hurts really bad.
If they had vengeance, oh my god.
We've just got news that Brian White has won his game as well, and now America is up 2-0 at the final tables here at the WTC.
Yeah.
So this game could be the determining game.
And he's touching, just to confirm.
And we're back again from our little dead zone a little bit there, but now we have... if you didn't get the news, because the feed cut off, Brian White also won his game, so now it is 2-0 for the Americans with 3 games to finish.
You know what?
Looks like actually Butcher rolled 3 total, so he counts up with 4 focus.
Oh, my apologies.
So he's got 2 on the Conquest, and he's just kind of positioning himself, hoping maybe for a better turn next turn, but I don't know how much he's going to have left.
Yeah, it's the same problem that we had earlier today. Not problem, rather, but...
situation.
With the Lilith matchup, where I felt that he probably just... maybe felt a little bit more comfortable or didn't see the game wasn't as much danger as we perceived.
Yeah, I mean, obviously maybe Marcin thinks that he's in a better position than we do, but I agree with Chad. He's in trouble.
It's very easy while you're not playing the game to make
just
optimal decisions and judgment calls because there's no pressure on whether
He does
or not.
take a shot, though, at a Bane Thrall, looking probably for the conferred rage.
Oh, yeah, sure. And a tough check.
Oh, that is super rough on Butcher.
Charge on Conquest?
Yes.
So as I was saying, though, the pressure of actually playing the game, it's incredible how much it actually affects your decision making.
Oh yeah, I mean it's much easier for us to sit here, look at this screen, and say things about the game when we're not involved in it, have no pressure about it, and can look at it as an objective third party.
Right. Sorry again, guys. Looks like we're back.
Yeah, we are. Well, I don't know what to say, everyone. I really apologize about the internet connection today. We're trying to give you the best show we can, but the tubes are not wanting to participate.
This guy will go away. Ask for us again. He will not engage. And then he will actually go back.
Sure.
I will take my model because of your axe. The leader.
So on that 3-man, at least it looks like 3 to me, the 3-man remaining in the green Doom Reaver unit.
I think there might be one more back here as
One
well.
more, yeah. I missed him. Behind the wall, there's another one. Now, another issue of this list is the lack of Pathfinder and really no way to get it in any way except for the Jack. And I guess he has a balanced charge that Butcher can put on himself, but the Doom Reavers themselves really just have to deal with whatever trade's on the table.
Yeah. Which again, I mean, that plays into the US's picking strategy.
Absolutely.
Okay, so this guy first. Or this guy.
Get the dead Bane count ready.
Not triple white. Right?
No, it's power 13.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yep. No.
Berserk on the second guy. Nope. So 1 token. This guy. We'll start with this guy.
So we're up to 1 dead Bane.
It's a hit. It's a kill.
Are we still keeping track of that?
Token.
Oh yeah, we're still keeping track of it.
Berserk on this
We have
guy.
dead Banes everywhere. It's coming.
It's a tough.
Tough?
Yeah.
Oh, maybe not. The toughs are happening everywhere.
This guy activated. This guy will spray over those 2 guys targeting him.
Okay. How many hit points does he have? How many hit points does he have?
Oh, and I think Marcin forgot the rule on Goreshade where he might take a point of damage for casting that spell.
Is that in?
He hasn't taken any damage yet, though, has he?
No, it won't matter all that much, but it could over the course of the game, I guess.
Sure.
Power 12. Yes. Before is in the pit.
Oh,
Okay, the green guys are over.
another dead Bane.
Ryan's got some pretty good tough check mojo.
Maybe he should play Trolls and take it all away.
Yeah, I should ask him for pointers.
Just as a mental note, his spell caster from my
1 damage.
He just did. Well, I was okay with it.
It looks like he must have feeded because if you look back there in the ring, he has got 3 rage tokens thus far.
He absolutely feeded that white circle below or behind Conquest is his feet token.
Is his feet token? Okay. Did we miss a Bane? Where did he get the 3rd one from?
We must have missed a Bane.
Maybe the chat will tell us if we missed a Bane.
The purple guys will charge. This guy is in your backyard. You'll charge him.
They say that the dead knight died earlier in the turn that we must have missed.
Well, Bane Knights are Banes. They count.
Yeah, I'm counting him.
This guy will charge that guy. And this guy will charge this guy here. I'll first measure my console area. Yeah, it's fine.
Interesting. That Bane didn't look like it was in Commander.
Here? Yeah. Okay.
Oh, no, the leader was right there in the middle, so he wasn't Commander.
I'm not engaged.
Yeah, but I would like to first say at the maximum reach because I was going crazy.
Sure.
Yeah, and now.
So I'm just going to come right up into here.
Sure.
We just received word that Will Pagani has closed out this match by winning his game. It is now 3-0 USA with 2 games left to go. This one and Anthony Ferriolo and his opponent. USA wins the WTC 2014.
Congratulations to Team USA.
Okay, I'm a 7, you're 13, I need a 6.
I'm still excited about watching this game, though.
Indeed.
Hits, that'll kill him. Make a guy.
Sure.
Oh my god. Countercharge and made a guy on his opponent's turn.
That is amazing.
That literally just happened.
Let me think a second, sorry. Sure. These guys are going.
Yeah, they're activated.
They've gone.
So he has created a 7th Bane,
They've
correct?
not gone.
They're not gone.
That's correct.
All right, 7th
Or he's
Bane.
placing it now, I believe.
So they're very much in the way for him to charge.
I think he's worried about giving additional feet rage tokens.
He should be.
He doesn't do a thing free of Tartarus?
Yes. So there. No, because you're not going to get. Because you have the feet rules. So yeah, I'll put him back here. Okay. So he's touching.
So top here. Berserker. Berserker on this guy. It's a hit because it was from behind. I stated it before the charge. Okay. Yeah, top. No, so attack. This guy charge on this guy. Hit 12.
That was a big one.
So Bane toughs.
That could have been
count
3.
Stays 7-5. This is a far more interesting score than the actual CPs.
I 100% agree. 100% agree. So that tough check potentially could have been 3 more rage tokens due to Berserk. So that was a big one.
How's Anthony doing? Okay.
The white guy will go, or the gray guy? I think it will be the gray guys first. Okay, so this guy is somewhere here pointed, right? Here? Yeah, it's in his backyard. Yeah.
So he is.
So a little bit going off the camera that you can't see there, but there's a Doom Reaver coming in on the Bane Knights.
Sounds good. Yeah, that was. Yeah, you're okay. So
Sorry for not measuring it earlier. This guy will charge this guy.
Yeah.
I believe the clock currently is 24 to
22, it looks like.
22. Ryan seems to have more time than Marcin currently does. Though the clock is a little difficult to see.
This guy will charge this guy.
Trying to maintain both. Yeah, you're okay, you're okay, you're okay.
This guy will charge kick out of those guys. No bonus. No leader. This guy runs. Okay. So this guy here.
Yes, sir.
Kills on the back. Once again, it's yeah, it's a hit. Just damage. Kills.
And the score is tied once again.
No, that would be point advantage
Yeah, no,
to
I understand.
Marcin. He has 7 to 6. Oh, I'm bad at math.
The counter charge created a 7.
Yeah, there you go. 8. Just got another one.
Here. Yeah. Kills. Yeah.
Did he charge or he lost?
Wait. It's out. He charged. So Berserk. Hit kills.
So I marked the wall. Don't worry about that, Tim. It's okay. It's not the worst thing that's happened in the last 3 days.
No reach.
Yes.
Okay, the yellow guy will go. This guy will go at that guy.
Can we, oh, yeah, sure. And he killed his friend.
He killed him. He was here.
Different. Yeah. He was out of the. Yeah. Or line of
A
sight.
little confusion between the players on what
You're
exactly
okay,
happened there, but actually it seems to be between the judge. The players seem to be clear on what happened.
For now, I'm going to promote, but it probably won't matter because you're going to kill him.
Ryan promoting his captain of the
that looks good.
Bane Knights. And the Dream Charge for the Doom Reaver. A possible 3-peat.
I fully expect Ryan to make another boss tough check.
On the first
on
one.
the very first one.
We'll charge this guy.
It looks like Marcin does too, so he's preparing
yes,
back
indeed.
up.
He's like, well, we're not going to let that happen anymore.
Okay, first. Yep. First die. Bane Knight. Nope. This guy. Charge attack. Hit.
Unlucky.
Wait. Okay. Berserk. Connect.
Dead Bane.
Tough. Tough. Yeah.
Not so dead Bane.
This guy here. Connects.
No.
Okay. No, he's not far away.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Berserk on Knight. Connects. Kills. Berserk on the leader. Kills leader.
That should be like, he should take one off of the Bane count since he killed his own guy. Like, that guy's not going to be a Bane.
No, that's not how this works, Trevor.
Oh, okay.
The last one, yeah, okay.
Although, again, that is the pro move.
Yeah,
in this matchup.
that's right. Kill your own
guys.
dude so no Banes are created.
There are no knockdowns, so tough. Yeah. Tough.
That's somebody else. They won?
Yeah, it looks like Marcin has dipped below the 20-minute count. This is you mentioned at the beginning of the game that this was probably going to go to time.
There's no way this game was ever not going to go to time.
Yeah. So, how do you feel about their time right now?
I think it'll. I'm not sure because Ryan is most likely going to rebuild his entire army next turn between his feet, and all the attacks that he's going to be making.
Right. Do you think that Ryan needs to start playing a little faster because he's going to have a higher model count?
Well, generally the turn that he rebuilds his army is pretty quick because they can't make attacks when they come back.
Sure.
So I expect him to basically make a few attacks with whatever models survive from the rage tokens.
Right.
And the Kraken, obviously, and then he's just going to plop down
a bunch of stuff,
as much stuff as he can.
Yeah, and then get the zones filled and get ready to kill Conquest.
Yep.
The leader will...
this team just won their round against Australia.
Oh, we just heard from Michael Chili Winters that USA Stripes, that's USA second team, has won their game against
versus Australia Green, giving them a 5-1 record for the entire tournament. Yes, one loss to the Polish team that is on this table right now.
I still don't expect them to place exceedingly high or super high because
I would
they had two pair down rounds just randomly.
Right. Yeah,
they were randomly selected twice for 2 pair down rounds.
Yeah, they got paired down multiple times, so that's going to really hurt their strength of schedule.
Yeah.
I would fully expect probably Slovakia and Team England Prime to end up being much higher than them, assuming that they win their final rounds.
But 5-1 is still
very respectable. Yes.
Did we miss any Banes?
I don't think so. Is it back over to Ryan? Oh, you're saying Bane's dead.
Yeah.
No, I don't believe so. He's been sort of in the tank here for a few minutes.
Your first range is 12.
Which is why I brought up the clock, because I feel like he hasn't accomplished a lot over the last 3 minutes.
Well, he charged, but it must have gone badly because he hasn't gotten any more rage tokens. Sorry, we should be paying attention rather than blabbing our mouth.
Yeah, well, we're talking about our country.
Yeah.
We're, riding the bulls, wearing the hats, declaring the Americas.
Yeah.
Running or charging? The guy in the green?
Yeah.
Okay.
They're over the bench. Okay, this guy here.
Oh, he was just finishing his order.
There are some questions going on in the chat about the double pair down.
Were they in two?
You guys should understand that this particular team event does not necessarily follow the steamroller rules. One of the things you'll have noticed over the weekend is that the clock can be paused by the players.
Here?
Yeah.
And that is not a normal steamroller rule. And so there's some other things that go on in the WTC that don't normally involve a steamroller packet. So there are very many similarities, and they use the steamroller packet for a lot of the things, obviously these scenarios. But the double pair down can happen. I believe it even happened last year.
Did it?
I maybe just pulling that out of my ass, but it seemed like it happened last year as well.
It very well could have.
Sorry. 4. I'll choose right. The contest will spend 1 turn. I'm not going to measure. Sorry.
So Marcin's sort of checking his controller. I think he's trying to decide where he's going to give these tokens to and where he's going to end up putting his conquest.
Yeah.
Just like that. Some green on that guy.
Okay.
Right hit gun. Never mind, it's out of flag.
Didn't he cast Boundless Charge on the Conquest?
3-1.
He did spend 2, but I don't remember what he spent it on.
I think he cast Boundless Charge, which he might have forgotten about.
He might have forgotten about it, but his opponent has also forgotten about it.
Yeah. The reason that would be important is because Boundless Charge specifies that a model must charge. So this might be a mistake, but that happens sometimes.
It does happen, especially when he had cast it so early in the turn and has spent so much time.
Right, it was almost 20 minutes ago.
Okay, left hit gun on this guy. I miss. Direction, inches.
So back to here.
It's
2.5.
And actually, that's not true anymore. You were correct once upon a time, but Boundless Charge is a can now.
Second shot, same direction, distance.
They'll all be.
Yeah, we learn something new every day. But that was correct. In Mark 1, Boundless Charge required you to charge.
You can't get them all.
Will be on this guy. Direction good. 6 to 2.
You missed a few more Banes.
Oh, yes, we did.
Here. Yeah.
Holy cow. Where'd they all go?
Tartarus.
That must have been a massive oblit or big cannon shot from the Conquest.
Blue guy will charge Tartarus.
There'd be 2 more, I believe, because he's added 2 additional rage tokens.
2 hits. Connect. -4. Kills.
Got Tartarus.
Tartarus is a big Bane.
There you go.
And is much larger. That is a worthy Bane right there. That's all I'm saying.
Absolutely. The tough check streak continues.
No. It's everything. And he was in.
So he's handing out some rage tokens. He's given 1 to each of the green models in the Doom Reaver unit with the Grey Lord. He's giving 3 to the blue one at the top and 3 to the, I can't see which unit that is. Red? Is that the red unit? And then 1 to the red unit model above it.
Hit him. Hits. Nice.
Alright, 1 more.
He kills a Bane.
This guy will move. 4. 2. Hit this guy. Hits. Dice.
More dead Banes.
This guy will move here. Here.
I worry that this is just not enough. He is killing quite a few Banes, but he's using everything he's got, including his feet, to get it done.
Yeah, so that's the... He killed an enormous amount of models this turn, and he's not done yet.
Yeah, so that's, you moved and attacked.
But everything he moves up becomes a Bane.
It's just going to start the wave all over again next turn, and it's just going to... He's going to turn all of those back models into additional Banes. The Banes that are alive are going to make even more Banes. It's just going to start all over again. And Butcher is out of feet now to
threaten
to
assassination.
Really give this much. Also, each additional Doom Reaver that dies is even more potential loss.
Yeah.
So it's gonna be all down on Conquest and Butcher soon. But we'll see how it goes. 1 round of missing with Bane, like that's the problem with Banes, I guess, is the max 6 and Tartarus is gone now. So 1 round of missing with Banes can really swing it all the way back. So it's not over. It's not over by a long shot.
But it is looking grim for Marcin.
So the Vengeance there, 7s.
And just to double check, I don't believe I missed it, but there was no point scored on either zone, correct? The north zone?
Correct.
Because he's got no full unit in there.
Kraken's in the zone.
Oh, Kraken is also in the zone.
And then in the bottom zone, he still has models in that zone as well.
Yep.
Looks like at least 3 Banes.
So 3. 4.
3 to the Kraken. He could get Kraken on Butcher pretty easily this turn.
Let's see here.
Yes, he could. And that's actually an interesting idea. It sort of puts Butcher in a situation where he almost has to do a particular thing next round, which allows Ryan to kind of position the rest of his stuff.
We went here, here, here. I don't know what happened down there.
Yeah, so if he can kill...
okay.
So no pressure on our gang.
that might be a bit of a tall order.
Nobody's tough here.
Given the lack of guns in this list.
Yeah.
Besides the Kraken.
He would need to kill at least 2 Doom Reavers.
Right.
Let's see.
And it would almost have to be Goreshade doing it.
Yeah, it would have to be Goreshade doing it, because if the Bane would kill... Bane's killing those Doom Reavers would be the same as the Doom Reavers being there. Yeah. It's just models in the way.
So, we'll run charge here.
And Goreshade has no gun, and Doom Reavers are spell warded, so I don't think...
yeah, I forgot about the spell ward part, so this is not going to happen.
Yeah.
That's what happens when you theory machine on the fly. That's what I tell people all the time.
That's what I'm here for, Trevor.
7s? Nope. 6s?
Here's the missing I was talking about.
Yep, but the UA
14
has one better net and creates his own Bane.
And an additional attack, just in case.
Here? Yeah, no. And here?
Some more missing. Prophecy from Chad.
I'm telling you, 6s, they're the worst.
Oh, those are actually 7s. 13.
Oh, you're right. That's even bad. That's even. It's even badder.
Worse. He's gonna charge him. Speed 5, so threat's 10. Yes. 8.
The Necrotech charge.
Necrotech getting it on.
Now you think this is like, that's the definition of desperation, right? But like, he's gonna get a free attack out of it, and then he's gonna turn it into a Bane with his feet.
He's gonna turn that Necrotech into a Bane.
It's just a free attack.
Yeah,
it doesn't matter
Bane.
that it's out there.
He's gonna charge him. I should see him on that angle.
There is no possibility for single base to walk on the side.
Over there. 7s? Yes. 7s? No. Charge here? Sure. 7?
Another Necrotech charge.
More Necrotech killing stuff.
Is mod 6? Yeah. Wow.
He's a power 8. I can confirm if you'd like. Mat 6.
Having to show Marcin that they are actually Mat 6.
Those guys can make
enough.
attacks?
Yeah.
I can't get over there without getting hit, so... we'll charge. Here. Just in the zone. Here. Go run 10. Here. There. 2 tries of 7s.
Yeah.
Yes.
Hail to charge.
Make a guy.
So another Bane being created.
I'm going to be honest with you, Trevor. I was expecting a higher Bane count than 8 by turn 4.
It's actually 9.
9. It's a little. Seems a little on the low side for a 42.
We're going to harass Ryan after the show.
For a 42 model.
Yeah, he failed a little bit here.
Yeah.
We needed more Banes.
Come on. I wanted the screen to be incomprehensible, filled with tallies.
Well, you know, the truth is he's going to create a whole bunch here in just a minute.
That's true.
Yeah, Kraken will aim. Big gun. Let's go little guns first. D3 plus 1. 3. So here, I need, I'm a 7, so I need 6. No. Number 2. Yes.
Taking some shots with the Kraken, killing more Doom Reavers.
He's on the hill still. Or did he move up? It looked like he moved up to touch the zone. Yeah. Okay, so there. Miss. Big gun. Here. Boost.
Kills. Hits.
Oh yeah, because I aimed. Yep. Okay, so boost here. Yeah. It's a 7. So yes, tough. Okay, so like that.
Marcin not getting the tough checks that Ryan's getting at all.
That's the way it works.
He'll go 6. Occultation. Sure.
It's 16 inches range?
Yeah. Sorry, sir. These guys will all run. So they went. He charged. So Goreshade will go.
Here it comes.
Actually, you run later.
What?
Yeah, I'd be pretty surprised if you didn't use it here.
Goreshade will feed.
And there it is.
2.
So
And
that's
then
2.
8. So 10.
And then 10. That's 10 total, I believe.
So 10 more Banes.
So it's a non-character model.
Or was it 12?
Yeah.
How many scrap
I
Thralls
can
did
even
he
play
have?
solos.
I believe he had 9.
Pistol, right?
Yeah.
Did he take both of his?
Yeah, both Necrotechs are gone.
Both Necrotechs come with 1, and he had 3 pods. So 9, 13 possible.
3.
Is there any
4,
scrap
5,
Thralls or Necrotechs?
6.
Who's
7,
counting now?
8, 9, 10.
No,
2, 4, 6, 8. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10.
Huh. Maybe he only had 2 pods.
10 more Banes to make more Banes.
It's a rough life in Crixland.
I mean, living models just become such a liability against this list, and you're running an army that has 42 of them. So
it's difficult. So he's used his feet. He trades in those scrap Thralls and makes Bane Thralls and Bane Knights out of them. He also traded in both of his Necrotechs, giving him 10 total models and 10 total Banes, bringing this score back in his favor.
Go ahead.
And Marcin is rapidly running out of attacks.
Yeah. He's also not getting very good luck with Butcher's focus rolls.
Did he roll a 2 again?
Yeah, looks like he did.
Yeah, that is just horrible. If he had just had 1 turn where he would have rolled something big, he might have been able to really pull something out with Butcher himself. But with 3 each turn and with 4 1 turn, it's just made it super hard.
Now, Butcher doesn't have a lot to do with his focus, but sometimes it can also just...
what it does is it allows him to go in and kill enough models, and when toughs happen, buy attacks and continue his rampage. It also allows him to go through the rampage and maybe camp enough to survive, depending on what's available.
No, it's an army of weapon masters, so it's dubious. But yeah, you're exactly. I mean, every additional focus point, you know, is going to make.
Yeah, I mean, if you can get Butcher to that magical 7.
Yeah.
I mean, where he's at 25, he actually camps better than the other 2 Butchers, other than he doesn't have Iron Flesh.
I mean, even the Bane Thralls probably.
That's
going to take more than can hit him reliably.
Can you take a point?
But with Tartarus off the table, he's also defense 14.
Right here? So you have 2?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
This guy hits this guy, hits damage, and second top as well.
No.
So no and?
It was yes and no.
Okay. Butcher. We'll say 5 inches, shoot the guy.
Looking for some conferred rage.
This damage, kills.
Here's that tough check.
No that.
Oh, he fails it. Butcher finally did something.
The green guy.
I can't see Marcin's clock, but it looks like 6.5 minutes, maybe?
That's correct.
And Ryan is at 14.5?
Yeah, it's a significant time advantage.
Yeah, it's a significant difference at this point in the game.
Although Marcin has significantly fewer models, and so his turns are going to start.
Yeah, they're going to start getting really quick,
gaining a lot of time on Ryan. As he's going to do this model
base to be able to do this.
Did you rush it?
No, I killed model.
Okay, so he gets +2?
Plus the conferred range. Out of range.
Okay.
Never mind.
Is that a failed charge?
That seems like it's failed. That's an unfortunate thing that happened as well. That's probably a dead conquest, and that's probably pretty much game.
Got it? Oh, one tablespoon.
Okay, Bane Knight, dice, this guy, dice, Berserk hits, -4 kills, leader is there, this guy,
one more person.
Knight dice,
yes?
the blue guy, here, force attack, Berserk on the descending one, top, 4, and it will be over.
Okay. Stay to the Kraken, stay on 4. Occultation goes away. While I'm over here, let's see here.
You know, one thing that we talked about at the beginning of the match, and that is becoming quite clear, is that even though these numbers make it look like he's killing more Banes than are being created, the truth is that the game is progressing in a way that he's not really making a great advance. You know, he's creating enough Banes that it's basically the same as the way he started the game.
Yeah. I mean, it's this ever advancing wave of.
It doesn't matter. I'll take it.
Especially when the game gets down to this position where you've only got a handful of models left.
Yes. So Marcin obviously knew he's getting pretty low on time. He's actually under 5 minutes, so he did a pretty quick turn that time.
Yeah.
8.
Well, he has significantly less to activate.
Yes.
Not snakes.
Looks like Ryan is starting with the Kraken.
I think Ryan should be safe from a clock victory here as long as he can play quickly. Although, due to the fact that he does have so many more models to activate, he could potentially clock himself out if he takes too long. But since he's up on time by almost 8 minutes, more than 8 minutes,
yeah,
I don't think that's likely.
Okay.
But it could happen.
So, not snakes. And your armor's -4, so you're 16, dice +2.
You're 18.
He got the armor debuff on him and has a Bane Thrall there already provided for him.
Right.
So these
3
are
plus 4 damage.
Yeah, 6 to the 6 here.
Okay.
Second initial hits. Up 2 is 5 to 2, same side. 5. Yes. Damage. 11 to 6. 5. Hits. Damage. 10 to 5.
Next side.
4. 5. Hits.
It's like he completed one side of the the conquest and has moved
Up
on
2
to
is
the other.
11 to 3.
That's a 9 to 3.
It's plus 2. Yeah, 11 to 3.
Yeah, that Kraken's going down.
Goreshade's gonna run. Sure. Boundless charge is 12 total.
If Ryan forgets about killing or homicidal maniac at this point in the game,
Yeah, I don't know why he did
gives it
that.
up.
That was not worth it, Ryan.
That could happen.
That was a
it
big
depends on
mistake.
now where he puts his Bane Thralls.
Yeah,
If he
he's gotta
leaves,
keep him away from
what I call this when I'm playing Madrak is I call them breadcrumbs. If he leaves,
breadcrumbs.
if
The
he
little
leaves
trail.
breadcrumbs, yeah, if he leaves the breadcrumbs to Goreshade,
Yeah, it's bad.
it can definitely be a loss here if Butcher rolls good.
Just for a second, we should talk about what Butcher 2 does, because a lot of people have actually never seen him go on a rampage. So he has a spell called Ravager, which gives him Berserk. And he has a rule called Homicidal Maniac that when he makes an attack and there's no enemy models within his melee range, he gets to move 1 inch. So the way it triggers is movement happens before additional attacks. So he will move and then make his Berserk attacks. And when he attacks, he also has a rule that lets him attack every model in a 360-degree arc within 2 inches.
Right.
So he can kill a lot of models, he can move a long ways, and he hits really hard.
Yeah. So if, like I said, if he leaves enough like little breadcrumb Bane Thralls for Butcher to just move 1 inch at a time, get to Goreshade, and have enough focus left to buy several attacks. I mean, it's the Butcher.
Yeah, he can do it.
He'll kill you.
It looks like Ryan's done it too. He has left models in the way.
This will be interesting. This will be interesting to see.
Off 5. 11 to 1. Okay.
I'll be looking for a record because it doesn't matter now.
He did kill the conquest, but that's a little immaterial at this point. He's definitely in the danger zone.
Yeah, he's super in the danger zone.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, 3, because it was 1 and 1.
Yeah, so it's 3-1.
Yep.
Focus. Nope. If I rolled 6, actually I could get to...
Ryan gets a little blinded by the dominate and moves in.
That's right. He keeps moving an inch. I forgot about that.
Oh, he remembers.
He now remembers.
It's a little bit too late at this point. But did he just roll a 1?
Man, if he did, I'd feel super bad for him.
He hasn't rolled higher than a
3 all game.
He rolled a 4 1 turn. If he had rolled a 5 or a 6, or even a 4,
yeah, really a 4. It really puts him in position.
I think
to
that
win.
Goreshade easily could have died this turn. He can even. The funny thing is, though, even with 2,
If I rolled 2, I could...
there's still a good chance.
There is a small chance. Goreshade's still camped quite a bit, and without being able to buy additional attacks, because he's going to have.
Oh, because Ravager costs 2. He
Ravager costs 2. He'll charge in. He can go through that whole unit and get to Goreshade. What he needs is to be able to get to Goreshade with another model in his melee, so that he can proc a Berserk off the other model, hit Goreshade twice, and finish him with those 2 attacks.
Yeah.
It is still possible.
This is the problem with random focus casters.
Yeah, it is a real big issue. He is going for it, but he's got nothing else.
Tough, and then tough.
Actually, tough checks are bad for Ryan.
Tough checks are bad for Ryan. He does not want to make them here. They give the Butcher additional attacks.
So it looks like failing all 3 of those tough checks actually takes him out of the...
Yeah.
He's probably too far away to move.
It's going to be difficult for Butcher to get there. Oh my gosh. That was
you get the tough checks when you need them, and you don't when you...
but we got 3 more Banes there at the 4 more Banes there at the end for the final Bane count of amazing versus amazing. That was an amazing game.
Very good game by Ryan and Marcin.
Congratulations, Team USA.
Thanks for watching, everybody. It's been total blast providing this content for you all. It's just been an incredible weekend. So
yes, absolutely.
highest one.